The Mountain of Light, an inspirational story. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Arab who lived in a small peaceful village. He was not the strongest or the smartest, but he had something rare, a heart full of questions and dreams. While others were busy with daily routines, Arab often stared at the mountains in the distance, especially the tallest one that touched the clouds. People called it Nur Pahad, the Mountain of Light. Many stories had been told about this mountain. Elders said that at the very top, there was a mystical light, a light so pure it could show a person their true self and give strength to their soul. But no one had ever returned from the journey. It's dangerous, they said. The mountain only welcomes the brave. But Arab was not afraid. He wasn't looking for gold or magic. He only wanted to understand himself, to find out who he really was and why he often felt different from others. One quiet morning, before the sun had fully risen, Arab packed a small bag with some food, water, and a wooden stick for support. Without telling anyone, he set out alone. As he stepped beyond the last house of his village, the sky began to change color, painting everything in soft golden light. He felt nervous, but his heart was steady. As he crossed the forest before the mountain, he could hear strange sounds, the whisper of the wind, the rustle of the trees, and sometimes voices that said, "Turn back, you are not ready, you are just a boy." But Arab walked on, remembering his grandmother's words. When your heart is louder than your fear, even the tallest mountain will bow to you. By the time he reached the base of Nur Pahad, clouds had gathered above. The mountain stood like a giant, its peak hidden behind thick mists and sunlight. The path was rough, the rocks were loose, and cold winds hit his face. He slipped and stumbled, but he did not stop. On the second night, a storm rolled over the mountain. Rain fell hard, and thunder echoed around him. He found shelter in a small cave and lit a fire with some dry grass. To his surprise, an old man sat inside, as if waiting for him. "You seek the Mountain of Light?" the man asked. Arab nodded. "Why?" the old man smiled. Arab replied softly, "I want to know who I really am." The old man looked at him kindly and said, "Then you are already ahead of many. The light you seek is not something to hold, it is something to feel." The next morning, Arab woke up alone. The old man had vanished, but beside the fire lay a smooth, warm stone. Arab took it as a sign and continued climbing. On the third day, as he reached the higher cliffs, the air grew thinner. Below him, clouds moved like oceans. He stood on a ledge, staring at the sky. He felt small, smaller than ever. Doubts crept into his mind. What if I fail? What if I am not worthy of the light? Suddenly, the clouds began to part. A soft golden light broke through and wrapped around the mountain's peak. Everything fell silent. No birds, no wind, no sound, just light and stillness. The light touched Arab's face, warm and gentle. It moved like it was alive, like it could see into his heart. And somehow, it showed him things he had never seen before. He saw the sadness he carried, the kindness he had given to others, the moments he stayed silent when he wanted to scream, and the dreams he kept hidden. The light didn't judge him, it accepted everything. And then, without words, Arab felt something deep and true. You are enough. You were always enough. He didn't cry because he was sad. He cried because, for the first time, he believed in himself. When Arab finally came back to his village, people noticed a change. He still looked like the same boy, but there was something different in his eyes. A calmness. A quiet confidence. Children gathered around him, asking, "Did you find the light?" Arab smiled and said, "Yes, but it's not on top of the mountain. It lives inside you. You just have to be brave enough to go find it." Glowing star moral of the story. True courage is not about fighting dragons or climbing mountains. It is about facing your own fears, your doubts, and believing in your worth. We all have light inside us. Sometimes, the journey to find it is long and lonely. But when we believe in ourselves, we discover that everything we were looking for was within us all along.